Hi guys. So this is my 1 week restart of me getting in shape and fit again. I kind of wanted to just go over a little things with everybody, kind of like tell you guys a little bit about myself and how I struggle and what I'm going through. So when I turned 18, I lived in Hawaii. I was born and raised in Hawaii, and you know, you have the ocean there, so all we did was swim. Pretty much kept healthy, you know, because you eat a lot of the good stuff. You fish, you swim. So I had a really nice body. I ended up pregnant when I turned 19, had my child when I was 20. My fiance at the time spoiled me and gave me anything that I craved for or baby craved for. So I ended up gaining 85 pounds. 6 months later, I ended up moving to Nevada, and being from the Hawaii culture and marrying into a Hispanic culture, you know, the food is really, really good. So I kind of kept gaining. My child was a big baby. I had complications with him, and so I had a C-section with him. I still struggled though with trying to lose weight, and then moving to Nevada, being that, you know, I was so used to the Hawaii weather, I got really, really sick, and not sick as being sick with like some kind of like sickness. It was more like my muscles froze because I was so used to Hawaii's weather. So I'd cry a lot because I couldn't move, I couldn't walk, my arms could only bend so much. I went to all these therapy sessions, getting shots after shots every time on the bottom of my foot, all over the place, until finally, you know, the doctor had did some tests and said, you know, this is what's going on and it'll actually go away in a little bit. So I was on all kinds of medications for that. I did better, you know, whatever. Long story short, they came up with the Fin diet, or Fen, or whatever they want to call it. So I got on board with that. I did really, really well. I lost so much weight. You know, at the time I was in a size 22 to 24 in pants and like a 3X in a shirt. And that came out. I did really, really well, lost a lot of weight. I went down to size 11, 12 pants. And unfortunately, because of, you know, things that was happening with that, they took it off the market. And so that being said, you know, I started trying all these other fad diets. And of course, thousands of dollars later, I just gained all my weight back. We ended up moving to Oregon, and I just blew up like a balloon. Then we ended up moving to California for work. And 8 years after my first son was born, we ended up having my second son. And of course, with my second son, I had diabetes, so I had to be really, really careful. So I really watched what I ate. I walked a lot, and whatnot. And with him, I only gained 13 pounds. With my first, I gained about 85. And still, you know, you try to lose the weight, and it's so easy to gain it, but so hard to lose. And so it was a real huge struggle. After my second child was born, we ended up moving back to Oregon again when he was 6 months. And I still had a hard time losing weight. I've been struggling with this pretty much all my life, with being heavier. And then on top of that, people that are so cruel and make fun of you, judge you, laugh at you. I had a lot of depression from things that has happened in my childhood that I never took care of. And a lot of it was I would feed my depression. It got to the point to where I started just eating and eating and eating and eating and didn't care about the consequences or the way that I felt. Even if I felt like crap after I ate it, I'd lock myself in the room and eat. Nobody would see it because I would fake it to everybody that I was okay, and I really wasn't. I would cry. I would look in the mirror and sob because I didn't like the way I would look, or my clothes wouldn't fit. At this point, I became so unhappy with the way I looked. Like even family portraits, I never would put family portraits up, and if it did, it was in the hallway where nobody could see it. But I took a lot of pictures of my children. And that affected me in so many ways. At that point, I was in a size 30 pants, which is huge. If any of you see my pictures, like I have a pair of jeans that I stand next to, and a size 4X shirt. A lot of my clothing I'd buy like that stretches really good, because, you know, I was so embarrassed, and I'd go around and act like everything was okay, but it wasn't okay. I watched this show, Dr. G, and she had a lady that was on there that was really young, that had 4 children, I believe it was. She was in her mid-30s and totally healthy woman, but a little overweight. Not big like how I was, but she was overweight, and she had died in her sleep, leaving her children, and her youngest one, I believe, was a year old. That's kind of what made the light bulb click with me. And then people making fun of me and telling me, oh, you'd be so hot if you were 140 pounds. And for me, like, that was kind of triggering a lot of things that I had growing up that was told to me. You know, and so I held on to that for years and never ever got the help, along with depression, anxiety. There was times that I was suicidal because of it. And I had to think of my children and what would my children go through if I did something like that to myself. It's hard. The cruel words of the world has a lot to do with it. And even now till today, no matter how much help I get or how much I've lost, I still have that issues. I'm struggling with depression again. You know, this past week was really hard for me. I went through a divorce several years ago that really set me back, and then I got into I was doing really well, and then I got into a relationship that was very toxic, and all my depression and everything came back again. I always listen to what other people have to say. So I'm going to rewind a little bit. So about 5 years ago, I met someone on Facebook, and I saw like her pictures of her, of what she used to look like before, and what she, you know, how much weight she's lost. And she used to do a women's group. It was called My Weight Loss Challenge. We would meet up once a week and learn so many things and whatever. You know, I did that, I think, for a little bit over a year with a whole bunch of girls struggling through the same thing. I was so embarrassed to go to the gym. I couldn't even fit on a treadmill. My butt would hit the sides because that's how big I was. I am from Hawaii. I'm a Hawaiian girl, so my bones are thicker than other people. I'm thick. I have thick thighs. I have a big old booty, you know. So I'm just curvier than most normal women. And then, you know, seeing like the charts and the doctors that they tell you, hey, you are this tall, so you need to be this size. The one thing that I'm going to say is that I met the most amazing doctor, and he literally did an x-ray of me and his nurse and said, everybody's different. He doesn't go by the chart. He didn't want me to look at the chart because at my height, I'm supposed to be 134 pounds, maybe in my left thigh. And he's so wonderful and amazing, and he's helped me with my depression. He still helps me with my depression. I'm still struggling with that, and I'm finally trying to get the help, because this week has been so overwhelming for me with anxiety and with depression. But I did start this journey back up again, and I must say that I took pictures of myself. I did find pictures of me before, and I did take some pictures of myself this past week. I do like the way I'm looking. I don't feel like I look that great of what I wanted to feel, but of course, little progress is progress. Small progress is progress. I did get on the scale only because I wanted to see what I'd lost, and I did measure myself, but I'm not going to do the measurements. I'm gonna wait 4 weeks to really see the measurements. I kind of disappoint myself because I was at that point where I could lift really heavy weights, and I was toned, and I felt really good, and I wasn't hurting as much. But now I'm having to start really light, so I feel like a little girl because I can't lift heavy. But it's a start. I feel a lot better. I just need to work on my depression part now. But I did lose 5.4 pounds this week. And I have not been on my keto diet because I went out of ketosis, so I need to get back on that at 100%, which I truly started today. But I want to let everybody know that people will judge you, people will make fun of you, and I know that I can say this to a lot of people and people that know me. Like, I fake it a lot. I fake my smile on my face. I fake that I'm happy. I fake that I think I look great, and there are so many days that I look in the mirror and I doubt myself. And I just want to let other women and younger girls know out there that you're not alone, and don't ever second guess yourself because other people don't like the way that you look. And that is my hardest thing right now that I'm dealing with, is not giving a crap what other people think of me or what they say. Be you, be beautiful, like be you, be who you are, and work on yourself, and know that there are people out there that's struggling with the same thing as you. And depression and anxiety is horrible. And for me, that depression and that anxiety gives me insecurities, and I need to start feeling confident about myself. And that's why I decided to do these videos and these blogs. And some people might laugh at me, some people might make fun of me, some people might say some cruel bullshit stuff to me, but I don't care, because I want to let people know out there that you're not alone. I started off this at over 400 pounds. And I might not be under 200 right now. And I don't want to say what my weight is because I am still embarrassed about it. But I will tell everybody what it is. But I have lost altogether, you know, over 100 pounds. And it does make me feel good. But I was asked to do this so many times, and I never want to do it because I was so embarrassed to go out here. I hate the way I sound. I hate the way I look. But I want to let everyone know out there that there are people that struggle just like you, and know that it's okay. And it's okay that people make fun of us. It's okay that people want to judge us, because it's not their judgment. God put us on this earth for a reason, and the one thing that I finally realized is that he made every single one of us different for a reason. I'm thick, I'm curvy, what anybody else wants to call me, that's on them, because I'm fixing myself and I'm doing it for me and my family. So with that being said, maybe I will do another video sometime this week. But day 8, I'm going on to week 2. So wish me luck. Subscribe if you want to, and ask me questions if you want to, and I'll answer you back. Thank you.